what is your problems with today's NBA? Because Kay's talking about loyalty and the Kobe's and the Tim Duncans of the world, and Giannis not being an American. What do you think is wrong with today's NBA? If you had to give it a critique, go ahead, Ferg. Let's just start with you, Ferg.
It's crazy enough. I sent you what I sent you yesterday because me and my dad spent the whole day talking about it, and he sent me the link, and it's crazy. There's a lot of things that I don't like about it. They're slow. Like I said, they've changed the big man position, where big man got to be able to shoot from three. But then if he's shooting from three, he's getting caught up in fast breaks where he's not able to get back defensively. You got people shooting 3-pointers that aren't 3-point shooters. No mid-range game anymore. No ball movement, heavy isolation, no cutting. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot because the thing is, what good defense makes you do is it makes you use all the offensive tools, not just what you specialize in. But when you take the defense's ability away and they can't touch you and they can't hand check you and they can't do this, you can now get from the top of the key to the bucket without being touched, basically. And when you think about the basketball we grew up watching, we appreciated it and didn't understand why we appreciated it until now. Now you're watching a game where, it's not entertaining. And look, viewership is down. People aren't watching as much because the quality of the product is poor. Guys are making so much money, don't want to play all the games. You got Embiid talking first week of the season, I'm not playing back-to-backs. Like, you can't tell me that the way things are right now, with the amount of money that people pay to go to games, the way the country is right now, where money is tight, if I'm scrambling, $400 or $500 to sit in the nosebleeds with my whole family, and I'm paying $12 for a damn hot dog, and you talk about you ain't playing back-to-backs, we got a problem. We got a problem. So there's a lot of different things. I could go all day with it, but that's just what came to mind.
And I'll just shoot real quick. I fucking hate. It drives my blood to see a 3-on-1 fast break. 3-on-1 fast break, and two niggas is running out to the 3-point line. Like, they're not running for a layup. Fast breaks is not for a layup. It's not for a bucket or for a dunk. Like, when you see three people on one, you thinking, oh, it's a highlight. There's going to be a oop. Somebody's going to get posterized in our NBA because it's going to the hole. Now, 3-on-1 and two niggas is running to the corners, or one nigga is going to stop at the top of the key. And it's just like, wait, what the fuck is going on? I also hate when point guards or even somebody, they drive all the way to the rim. They get all the way to the rim. They get in the air and they do some shit, and then they kick out for a fucking 3-pointer. It's like, wait, my nigga, you just had two. You gave up a fucking layup, my nigga. You done cut niggas and went all the way to the basket, and you got a layup, and now you're kicking out to somebody to shoot from 30 fucking feet away. What has happened to the game of basketball? It just blows me. And like that now blows me, of course. But it drives me. It drives me.
Look.
He got excited.
We didn't even need Crip Bayless for this one. He was like, oh, wait a minute. But that's what among other things, is, Ferg did a great job touching on a lot of the stuff. I just wanted to emphasize those two because my skin is like, you're at the rim and you kicking out. There's a fast break and there's no dunk. There's no dunk. It's 3-on-1 and there's no dunk. Let me just say that the 3-point shot, right, which we know has been transcended due to Steph Curry, right?
Steph Curry in practices, he puts up so many 3-pointers. Let's just say from one spot, he'll take 100 shots. Out of the 100 shots, he's hitting like 77 of them, 80, whatever, right? Nobody else is doing that. So with that being said, why does everybody think they could shoot a 3-pointer when it's a lower percentage shot? However, my real issue I have with today's NBA is the idea that these players are more skillful than the players of the past. This is a sentiment that's been going around by so many different people. They way more skilled than they were back in the day. If that's the case, why are we making it easier for them to do everything? Make that make sense. If they are more skillful than what the old players were, then why are we making it easier for them to do everything?
They're not more skilled. They're not more skilled, and the best way to show that argument is international play. When you got the USA having to squeak by teams with dudes that will never play in the league. Think about that. They have to squeak by teams with guys on there that you will never see in the league. Why? Because those guys, when they learn to play basketball, they're not playing the AAU way. They're playing the right way. And if there's one thing, Ray Allen has been on record, Del Curry has been on record. Del Curry took his boys out of AAU. A lot of people don't know that. Steph Curry was taken out of AAU and was given an opportunity to play other sports to have some time off because he didn't like the way the AAU style was going, where these guys are playing games with no practices, which means you're not learning fundamentals. So whatever you know how to do is all you're going to know how to do. You're not going to know how to do nothing else. You're not learning nothing. Whereas in the European way, because they play a club team style and they teach the game from the ground up, that's why when the European bigs come over, like Şengün in Houston, to get a guy like Şengün, he had to learn how to pass, how to dribble, how to shoot. He had to do all that. But his specialty is the low post. But he didn't come into the league with all I do is low posts. You get what I'm saying? Whereas when you look at someone like Joel Embiid, who spends so much time on the perimeter, when Joel Embiid shoots a three, he's giving the defense a break. Think about it. Why would you're 7 feet, 280, and the closer you get to the basket, the higher the percentages. Why are you out there shooting threes? And mind you, if the league, and I'm jumping around, but I find that Steph Curry is unfairly blamed for this. Mike D'Antoni brought this into the league, not Steph Curry. Mike D'Antoni brought this into the league with the Phoenix Suns, with the 9 seconds or less, where you have to get a shot up in 9 seconds or less. Mike D'Antoni was the first person to start putting 3-point shooters in the corners on every set play. Mike D'Antoni brought that into the league where he had dudes running into the corners on fast breaks. Phoenix shocked the system when they did it. But what people fail to realize is Mike D'Antoni had shooters. He built a roster to outscore you. The problem is teams aren't building rosters to do that. They don't have the talent to do that, and they want to implement that same system. When Mike D'Antoni ran that system here in New York, he had J.R. Smith as a shooter. He had Melo out there. He had Stat running pick and roll with Raymond Felton. He had Novak out there. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to have the talent to do it. You can't be running the team like the way like now. I think teams are averaging more than 30 to 40 3-point attempts per game. And there's not that many 3-point shooters in the league, but Steph Curry is unfairly blamed for it. And what he doesn't get enough credit for is what he does underneath the 3-point line to actually get open. He does a lot of the stuff Reggie Miller used to do. Setting screens, running around screens, basically making you too tired to stay with him. And then he still has the energy to put the three up. So I don't think we should be blaming Steph. We should be blaming the organizations for trying to emulate something without the necessary talent that you would need to do so. That's what I think. It's the D'Antoni system, and they've bastardized it. They turned it into something that it's not supposed to be.
I'll take it. I agree with everything you said. That's why I was sitting here clapping in the background. I'll give Steve Kerr some credit too. You know what I'm saying? For changing the game. Because the part that Steve Kerr played and where the game is right now, he was the first person to put a Draymond Green at the center position.
Mm.
And at 6'9", if you were big and slow, then he would run around you and score. Draymond had the IQ where if you put a big guy on me, I'm quicker and faster than him. I'm gonna out hustle him. I'm gonna run around him. I'm gonna blow by him and get to the rim. If you put a small guy on me, I'm gonna out physical him. You know what I'm saying? He played a major role. Remember, it took the league 2 years to catch up to Draymond, to find the right matchup for Draymond. It took the league 2 years to find the right matchup for Draymond Green at that center spot with Golden State. And then, all right, we caught on to this now. You know what I'm saying? But now that's why bigs gotta be so versatile.
Yeah,
because you can put a 6'9" nigga at your 5 right now and play small ball.
Yeah, and don't forget what Draymond was doing is very similar to what Joakim was doing in Chicago, running the offense from the high post. And centers now, there are a few guys. Şengün can do it. Isaiah Hartenstein is great at it, where you give him the ball in the high post and he can find the shooters, he can find the cutters. Karl Anthony Towns is good at it. There's a few guys that I can name off the top of my head.
Joker could do it.
Joker, the number one guy that's doing it. My bad. He's the number one guy doing it. So, that's why I don't want to legislate the three-pointer out the game, because there are ways that you can do it creatively where it doesn't look like you're forcing it. Some of these teams are just jacking up They're jacking up these threes, and it's not even in the flow of the offense, like you mentioned. Now, y'all remember the dunk where it was Mario Chalmers, Norris Cole, and LeBron, and they RIP'd Jason Terry against the Celtics?
Yes.
You don't get that play no more.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't get that play no more.
There's no more dunks.
You're not going to get that dunk no more.
No.
Because, or Jason Kidd lobbing it off the glass for Kmart, you're not getting that no more.
So the problem, to y'all point, because y'all ain't saying nothing wrong, I don't even understand how, and this is where Steph Curry gets blamed for it, and it's not Mike D'Antoni. I want to make sure you understand this for him.
Yeah.
When D'Antoni was doing the 3 seconds of left, they didn't even have somebody that could shoot as good as a Steph Curry. I understand that there were people going to spots, but Maury was a dunker. Even Sean Marion was a dunker in the fast break. We know this for sure watching Phoenix, right? Also, Steph Curry made it exciting, because the three-point shot is not exciting. To me, it wasn't exciting until Steph Curry and the Splash Brothers. Let's keep it real. The Splash Brothers made three-point shooting exciting to watch, and the way that Steph shoots that three made it. You know what I mean? Made it like, yo, how did he do it? Do that, right? So that's what made it exciting. That's what took away from the dunk. So now everybody's trying to jack. Think about it. Even Dame, when he pulled up almost half court, you like, that was the shock value that you were looking for from the dunks, right? So that's how it started to transition into that. But the problem is, y'all not doing it for us like a Curry, and it's still a low percentage shot. I'd rather the dunks. And I don't want to see, I'm going to say this very loud, I do not want to see the Knicks beat Denver 145-118. I don't want to see that.
I'm with you.
I don't want to see that. We beat
in
the Denver Nuggets
regulation.
145 to 118.
No
I
overtime.
don't want to see that fucking game. No overtime. I don't want to see that at all. And you cannot tell me that there's any version of the NBA that if it was 106, 109, that was not a more exciting game than 145, 118.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of these rules that y'all came up with to put more points on the board, it's not more exciting. All we're just seeing is more blowouts.
Well,
we're just seeing more blowouts.
Here, you want to know something else that I heard the other day that's kind of worrisome, where because of the corporate sponsorship that Adam Silver has brought to the league, the only way to get more eyeballs is to create a product with high numbers. So for the diehard fan, we're watching a diluted product. But for the casual fan that just wants to watch and be entertained, this is what the NBA wants. Because think about it, right? They just signed a $77 billion TV deal. And the NBA Cup has sponsorship from LVMH, from this, from that. You don't get that kind of stuff with 97 to 94 final score, because you're not going to get the diehard fan. You're not going to get the casual fan. So it's a double-edged sword, and they need to find a way to rebalance it, because 145 points in regulation is ridiculous. To be able to, because there used to be a time where, from a defensive perspective, keep the quarters under 25 points and you should win the game, right? You don't give up more than 25 points in a quarter, you win the game. Simple as that. Now is, let's try to keep it under 30. Let's try to keep it under 35. Final scores now are all in the 110s and the 120s. It's getting to be ridiculous. And
it was 69. It was 69 3-pointers in that game.
That's crazy.
It was 69 3-pointers in that game. To your point, 69.
It's
69.
It's too much.
That doesn't make any sense. Now, granted, the Knicks hit 52% of those.
That's fine. But
that's because we're shooting them in high volume. Remember, our first game of the season versus Boston,
they did the same thing.
They
couldn't miss. Meanwhile, when you look at the way the game ended for the Knicks outshot the Celtics percentage-wise. We actually shot a better percentage than the Celtics did, and they won the game because they couldn't miss from three, but they couldn't hit a two. So now in that
game, it was 91 3-pointers.
Right.
In that game, it was 91 3-pointers. The Celtics hit 47% of those threes. They took 61 by themselves.
So here's my thing. If you want to bring balance to that, you have to be able to bring back the hand check. If I can steer you away from that 3-point line and make you drive, and I know nobody's got a mid-range, now I can play defense. You got to give the defense something. Give them something. Because if I can't touch the guy on the perimeter, pause. If I can't put the hand on the hip, I can't put the hand on the arm, nothing. That means he is free to do whatever he wants on the perimeter. So now, this is part of the reason, again, where I hate that Steph Curry is a topic of conversation, but defenders back in the day, they would have hand-checked the shit out of Steph Curry on the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, Steph Curry's an anomaly. Steph Curry's an anomaly in all of this, but the bottom line is that they need to change it. And I think from the perspective of even AAU and what's being taught for these kids growing up, everything needs to change from the bottom all the way up to the top to the NBA level. And back to your point, I think European basketball and overseas international basketball is where it's at and where it should go. We're going to wrap up this show, though. It's been a great almost 2 hours. There's plenty of more to catch up on, plenty of more that we need to talk about. So this has been another episode of Straight from the Block, only on 92.6 WKBP The Spot. I'm your host, Deplano, as per usual, co-host. Holla at him on the way out.
You already know it's been a pleasure. Ferg, it's always a pleasure chopping it, my brother. Always a pleasure. Ashton Martin, Mr. Martin, we out of here.
Same here. Pleasure is all mine, man. I'm happy I finally had a minute to get on here because my schedule has been nuts. But as soon as D said we got a Saturday show, I was like, hell yeah, put me on. Put me on.
Let's hope we can get some more of them in, man. Let's see.
Yes.
Hope we can get some more
Yes.
shows in.
Yes.
All right.
I hope
Until
so.
next time. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace.